Yo, what's up? I'm your host Cameron Byrd, and you guys are tuned in to Carolina Fragrance Reviews. I have put together a top 10 spring and summer list for you guys. Yes, we are located in North Carolina, so that means we basically get like fall and summer. That's pretty much it. But all things considered, I'm going to do my very best to give you a spring and summer list. Stay tuned for more.
I finally found what I'm missing, and now you got all my attention. Driving me wild, got me wishing that you were all mine. You're irresistible, so refreshing. You're irresistible, tell the essence. I can feel your energy all over me. Close my eyes and I breathe in. You're irresistible.
Thank you guys for tuning in, and yes, like I said, we basically get 2 seasons here for the most part. We don't really get a heavy winter, and we get a lot of summer. It's gonna be like hot as crap from now until like the end of October. I've already been tortured by mosquitoes, and I already had a couple of snake scares. I was at work the other day, went to go grab the jack, and there was a snake laying there. I was like, seriously, already? So yeah, all the creatures are stirring, but guess what? We are creatures also, and we like to smell good. So let me give you guys some super fly fragrances to be rocking in the spring and summer, niche and indie house style. Okay, to be completely honest with you guys, this is a brutal list for me as far as like 10, all the way down to 1. I'm going to do my best to try to, maybe mix it up a little bit. My first one is from the house of Bond number 9. It is West Side. This is a woody floral fragrance that has absolute amazing performance for a spring and summer fragrance. This one is based off of Carnegie Hall. I don't know how familiar you guys are with Bond number 9, but they do have, different things that have influenced each fragrance or whatever. Carnegie Hall actually resonates for me. My high school choral group was recognized by Talent Scouts for an international music, or actually it was a choral festival. And yeah, that More Than Words bit, if you guys saw that, I was singing off key on purpose. I actually can sing whenever I apply myself, but we're not singing right now. We're talking about fragrances. But these music notes just gave me that idea about where I was in a different point in time, where Carnegie Hall actually played into my life, where we actually got an honorable mention of competing against countries like Japan and Germany and Austria and a bunch of different places. There was 3 high schools from not from North Carolina. There was 1 from North Carolina, 1 from the Midwest, 1 from California to represent the United States, and we actually got an honorable mention, so it's not too bad. But this has excellent performance. The compliment factor is off the charts on this thing. The performance is very, very good. Stellar, actually, for spring and summer. Freshies are a hard thing to pull off this time of year, especially in North Carolina, where the humidity just is insane, where you're going to be sweating your cojones off, if you will. The notes for West Side are rose, ylang, peony, sandalwood, amber, vanilla, and musk. Let's get to our next fragrance. Okay, my next fragrance is from an indie house called Imaginary Authors. A relatively new house to me, not to the fragrance community and Imaginary Authors enthusiasts. I have been introduced to some really fantastic fragrances, and this is one of them here recently. Imaginary Authors Saint Julep, or Julep, however you want to pronounce it. This is an amazing fragrance. The only thing that I dislike about this fragrance is the performance, but of course I'm Mr. Beast Mode. But all things considered, at $95, this is pretty much what you're going to pay no matter where you look, whether you look at Perfumology or some of these other houses that do carry imaginary authors. $95 across the board is what you're going to pay. So if you say this, as far as like creativity, imaginary authors is going to be off the chart. You're going to be unique. You're not going to be smelling like everybody that's standing next to you in the line at a baseball game or at the movies or wherever you might be this summer. This is a very unique fragrance. It's a very inviting fragrance. I have got a few compliments off this fragrance and I like it a whole lot. The notes for St. Julep are sweet mint, tangerine, southern magnolia, bourbon, grisalva, sugar cube, and crushed ice. All right, my next fragrance is from one of my favorite houses. I did pick it as my one house, 4 fragrances a little while back. This is a limited edition flanker from Love Don't Be Shy. This is Love Don't Be Shy Eau Fraiche from by Kilian. Yes, this is a limited edition. If you guys want to get your hands on this one, this is your flanker, your alternative to Love Don't Be Shy. Love Don't Be Shy is definitely more of a fall and winter fragrance, where Love Don't Be Shy Eau Fraiche is definitely a spring and summer fragrance. I wore this the other day, went to it's like a grocery store slash restaurant, and I got in there and the lady told me that I smelled edible. But then she kind of backpedaled a little bit when I kind of looked at her like that. And she's like, you smell like cookies. And yeah, the notes in this are, you've got some orange blossom, then you've got marshmallow and vanilla. So yeah, it does have a slight little cookie vibe, but it's very, very light compared to its counterpart, the OG, which is definitely more of a deep fragrance that you're used to with Kilian's. Like I said, they don't do a whole lot of spring and summer freshies, if you will, with by Kilian. This is actually really, really good. My boy Brian Wong at Saks, my Kilian rep at Saks in Las Vegas, hooked me up with this, got me a really good deal on it. And I'm gonna tell you what, guys, this thing is a compliment beast. I'm not even gonna spray it for you. I'm not wasting it. It's limited edition. If you guys are gonna get on this, go ahead and buy it, get on it. If not, you're gonna be stuck with the fall and winter fragrance, which is fantastic, by the way, but how many freshies does Kilian have to begin with? The notes for Love Don't Be Shy Eau Fraiche are neroli, marshmallow, musk, and citrus. Okay, my next fragrance is a fragrance that you will definitely see a standalone review, and you will also see a standalone review on that Love Eau Fraiche. But this one is from Perfumology. This is Grange. Grange, I don't know. This has became a go-to for me. You can see that there's quite a bit of a dent in this. This is a really inviting summer fragrance. It's one that you can spray on after you get out of the shower. But just to be completely honest with you, a very mainstream fragrance is actually in this list, which happens to be one of my favorites. I was wearing the other day, and when we get to that fragrance, I'll let you know what we're talking about. I was actually wearing that fragrance, and I found myself longing for Grange. There's just something about this fragrance that works for me. I have heard a couple of people say that they're not crazy about it, but I've heard a lot of people say they are crazy about it. Me personally, this is an amazing fragrance. The notes on this are Sicilian orange, Mexican lime, fig, tobacco, oak, and cedar. That is an incredible note composition. There's an incredible story about this. This is a top 10. I'm not going to get in the story about how this fragrance came to be, but this is one of my favorite from Perfumology. Okay, a little while back, we broke out a house for you guys called Juicebox. We broke out Cheeky Smile for you guys. I did get the story on it a little bit twisted. I got the era right. Actually, Cheeky Smile was supposed to be based off of the acid houses in Europe where everybody was doing ecstasy. That's what you get for listening to the internet. But we're not talking about Cheeky Smile. We're talking about another one from Juicebox called Microlove. This was actually inspired by the band U2 from the era of about 1992 to 1993. And it is supposed to be talking about the marriage of man and machine, basically. But since we are talking about spring and summer fragrances, this one is really, really good. They have got a few good summer bangers at Juicebox, and I'm gonna go ahead and admit it publicly. I am a Juicebox junkie. Yes, there's not gonna be a Parfums de Marly in this lineup, so you can go ahead and like get your chair. It's gonna be about Juicebox a little bit in this one. Not that I have given up on Parfums de Marly or anything. Don't get it twisted. I'm just trying to change it up for you guys and let you know that Juicebox is my new jam. And yeah, Microlove is incredible. It's insane. Let me just read a little thing and then we'll kind of get back to the matter at hand. It says, huge screens enlighten the crowd and wash our brains. The world is connected. Electricity and love are in the air. That sounds a little dangerous to me, but it still produced a really good fragrance. And yeah, if you kind of take a look at everybody now, you know, what we talking about 25, 30 years ago, whatever, where this was actually, you know, the whole 92, 93 era thing, where it's talking about washing our brains. That's why everybody's like this all the time. If you guys notice that, it's just me. Do you ever go to a restaurant and see like a family of 4 and everybody has their iPad and their cell phone out and they're not even talking? Yeah, it's kind of scary. But anyway, great fragrance, right? The notes for Microlove are ozonic notes: apple, neroli, cinnamon, violet, clary sage, white cedar extract, suede, and ambergris. Okay, my next one that I've got for you is actually a compliment beast. And when you hear the word incense in a spring and summer fragrance and compliment, that just all sounds like a bunch of gibberish. But Gold Incense by Mancera, believe it or not, is actually a deep enough fragrance to really yield compliments, but at the same time, it's light enough to where it is completely wearable for spring and summer. I'm going to show you guys a clip from a compliment that I got just this morning. Oh, it's not an interview. I just wanted to hear a repeat of what y'all were just talking about. Because something I go through every day is compliments, even at Bojangles.
What is that you wear?
Today I am wearing Gold Incense by Mancera.
Okay. I don't even know who that is, but it does smell good.
Said she had to leave the kitchen to come see what it was. Alright, now tell me what it was you said.
You smell absolutely delicious.
And where'd you have to come from? The kitchen?
Yes.
You said you come all the way from the kitchen to tell me that. So that's a pretty good darn compliment.
He smells wonderful.
Mancera has got a lot of really good fragrances. Honestly, Montal and Mancera both are incredible houses. They have beast mode fragrances, which I'm all about, but I am finding out that even an incense fragrance, think of incense, most of the time you're thinking about like deep fragrances or either trying to like cover up the smell of herbs that you might be smoking. Gold Incense was released in 2018. The notes are incense, pink pepper, mandarin orange, coffee, violet jasmine, rose, patchouli leaf, benzoin, vanilla, and white musk. Okay, the next fragrance was featured recently in my top 4 fragrances for life. This is not a blue bottle from Histories de Parfum.
Is that the one on History Channel?
Yeah, it was the one about the aliens and all that stuff. Now we're getting into spring and summer. This is when the aliens come in spring and summer and get on the History Channel and talk about Histories de Parfum.
The blue ones?
Yeah, the blue, not the green ones, but the blue ones. But I think they're trying to psych you out. So actually this is actually green. They're saying it's not a blue bottle. Are you getting it now?
It's more like royal purple.
Push! I'm trying to talk about this. This is not a blue bottle. Hey, you guys do me a favor. Down in the comments, tell me what color you think this is. It's green. This is not a blue bottle. It was released in 2015. The notes are orange zest, honey, tart, geranium, musk, patchouli, and amber. Okay, my next one should not be any surprise to you guys. It was actually one of the first fragrances that I ever reviewed on this channel. It is none other than Baccarat Rouge 540 from Maison Francis Kurkdjian. This is the Eau de Parfum. And yeah, I was telling you that story about Grange, where I actually had this fragrance on and was longing for that. That is not a nudge to this fragrance. Those of you who know anything about this fragrance knows that there is a long trail of just people who are infatuated with this fragrance, and rightfully so. It is an amazing, amazing fragrance. But I just like new stuff. That's why, I was longing for Grange. I just wore it so many times, and then I put it down, and then I was like, yo, I'm gonna beat some BR 540. But that was during the day. I would say that Grange would be better for during the day, and Baccarat Rouge 540 would be better for the night. Especially if you like heading out on a date, especially for that. I mean, it actually has self-proclaimed notes like Kilian in it that is known to be an aphrodisiac. You feel me? Yeah. Baccarat Rouge 540 deserves all the love and affection that it gets and garners. The compliments that it brings are over the moon. A lot of people have been blending this fragrance with Creed Aventus, and there has been a few fragrances that have similar DNA with that Baccarat Rouge 540, like the Oud for Greatness, Cheeky Smile. They all have similar DNA, and Baccarat Rouge, I think, will probably come in behind, if not, I won't say it'll exceed Aventus, because Aventus has done a lot. It's going to take a lot to exceed the fragrances that have been influenced, inspired, cloned, whatever you want to say. Baccarat Rouge 540, I would say, is probably coming in, stomping in on its heels, as the next fragrance is going to be that overly saturated with inspired fragrances by it. But when you got the OG sitting here, there ain't much better than this. The notes for BR 540 are blood orange, citrus peel, lavender, sage, hedion molecule, saffron, ambergris, white oak moss, and ancient woods. Coming in at number 2 from the house of Xerjoff is Neo. Now you want to talk about a spring and summer fragrance that is going to get you mad compliments for at least 8 to 12 hours, depending on if your skin is like mine. If your skin is like mine, nice and oily from great Italian DNA, you get 12 hours of performance. If you have dry skin and it soaks it up and absorbs it, you'll get 6 to 8 hours, which is actually fantastic for a spring and summer fragrance. This right here is amazing. Unbelievable fragrance. Another stunner from Xerjoff, however you guys want to say it. I know I probably mispronounce a lot of stuff. Look, I see how it's written. I don't get to talk to people about fragrances a whole lot. The few people that I do are probably as... there are some people that are like very proper, and they know how to pronunciate everything. But I'm just a good old country boy from the South that likes to smell good things. If you guys are with me on that, give me an amen down in the comments. Yes, Xerjoff Neo is amazing. If you have not got your nose on this, you need to. There's only one in this collection that I personally like better than this one. We'll get into that one next. Some of the notes for Neo are bergamot, neroli, cardamom, nutmeg, cedar, gaiac wood, vetiver, and patchouli. Coming in at number 1 is either a love or hate fragrance. I really don't think that there's any middle ground, but for me, this is a super dope fragrance from Juicebox Use and Abuse. Yeah, I talked to you guys about Microlove, and you too. This one is actually cocaine and Freddie Mercury. If you guys saw that latest Freddie Mercury movie, it was really, really good. This fragrance is even better in my personal opinion. This is very different. That's why you probably see like some meh in Fragrantica and base notes. For me, this is a stellar fragrance. Insane performance for a summertime fragrance. Very unique, very different. Just like Freddie Mercury was. Yeah, that dude was definitely doing his own thing. That's what this one is doing. And the Use and Abuse is a nod to the tuberose, which in turn kind of has a, I don't get the cocaine vibe or whatever, but yeah, Freddie Mercury was doing cocaine as everybody was back in the 70s and 80s that were at his stature. But as far as fragrance goes, extremely unique. I would suggest checking with Perfumology, check with Chris at Bloomingdale, New York City. Check with some of these people about getting samples before you go in. These things are expensive. This is heavy duty presentation. Nice glass. You got your vinyl on the top, as all the Juicebox do. When it comes to music and fragrance, two of my biggest passions, yeah, you're gonna be seeing more Juicebox. So I'm not trying to run you guys off. If you're not Juicebox fans, if you are Juicebox fans, I'm trying to reel you in because you are going to be hearing more and more about this house on this channel. Use Abuse, my #1 pick for spring and summer 2019. The notes for Use Abuse are tuberose, mandarin orange, incense, jasmine, peony, sandalwood, and musk. Today's episode was brought to you by myfragrancesamplers.com. Be sure to use our discount code CFR15 for you to get 15% off of all your fragrance needs. Thank you guys for tuning in. This was my top 10 pick for indie and niche of fragrances that I'm going to be wearing this spring and summer. Spring is just about to be wrapped up. We are definitely on the cusp of summer. All these fragrances work very well for me. Either the compliment factor is off of the roof, they're unique, whatever. It is definitely of my personality, but if you guys like to be different, if you like unique fragrances, if you like to be complimented, I would say that probably every one of these will fit in that little peg somewhere. Don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, hit that notifications bell, and we will see you next time on Carolina Fragrance Reviews.